Good morning and welcome to Rovali's Daily Podcast. It is going to be a scorcher today. I think, well, maybe not. I think maybe 98. But this week, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a weatherman too. I do the local weather. But it is a beautiful blue sky outside and everything is nice and summery. So it's going to be a great day today. We have some very special guests on the podcast today, and we're excited to have them here. We have Warren Breagger, and we've got Jimmy Newquist.
Hi there.
Welcome, you guys. They are from Ogdenxmedia, and they're going to share with us some really cool stuff of what they're planning, what's in the works, and what they do. As you can tell by their screenshots, they're all about the mood. I like it. I like that creativity right there. Anyway, before we begin, let's have a toast, everybody.
Cheers to you. Thanks for having us on.
You're welcome.
I
Well, welcome, you guys. So, I have been working with these gentlemen. If you guys recall, not too long ago, we had a wonderful musician, songwriter, slash singer slash everything, and her name was Courtney Padilla, and these gentlemen were the creative minds behind putting everything together for her as far as videos and different things like that. So I want to welcome you guys. If you wouldn't mind just kind of introducing yourselves and a little bit of background, where you're from and what you're bringing to the table.
Well, I'm Warren Breagger. I own a bunch of businesses here in Ogden, and my newest one, Ogdenx, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, that's me.
My name is Jimmy Newquist, and I originally hail from Framingham, Massachusetts. I started working in the Ogden area in the mid-90s, did lots of shows and events, and Warren and I got to working together, I'd say within the last 5 years, and pulled off several successful projects. So when it came time to my family thinking about moving around, we thought Utah was as great as any place, and we've really enjoyed it. So Ogdenx is our big focus and the reason we're here.
All right, excellent. Well, there's no better time than the present to dig into Ogdenx. Where did this brainchild come from? How did the idea start? Give us some history on how this whole project even began.
Well,
I would like to know that story too, just to tell your viewers. I'm just asking. So we'll see how he does.
So I own an online radio station, KGRA, and that it's mostly paranormal stuff, UFO. A lot of the people you see on TV from Ancient Aliens, they're on my station. And we were going to do a thing called KGRA TV, and that kind of fell through. And so when that happened, I started thinking, what could I do locally? Because KGRA is a beast because we're worldwide. And I was like, what could we do locally? And I started thinking, and I was like, what if we opened a business that just promoted Ogden and Ogden businesses and Ogden events and anything that's going on in Ogden? We promote and get people there. And I called Jimmy, and he thought it was a good idea, and here we are.
Excellent. And what's your take on it, Jimmy?
So Ogdenxmedia is, in my opinion, we're centered here in Ogden, pushing, the first big push is for local businesses. So we offer turnkey video services, audio services, commercial services, event services. My background comes from Universal Studios and the Walt Disney Company. Coming to a company like this where there's 6 people really working it at all times, but in such diverse ways, really allows us to offer the local vendor or merchant a kind of a Hollywood type commercial or online presence at not the Hollywood price range, right? Because we're all here in Ogden living at the base of the beautiful Wasatch Mountains.
All right, excellent. So I got to ask, what does the X mean?
It's the X factor.
I think it is the X factor. That was a good answer. It's the it factor of Ogden, because Ogden certainly does have one. When I came here 20 years ago, it was a much different city. And now with the growth And certainly anyone who's ever been out on 25th Street on a festive evening, it's quite a town. It's got lots of underlyings that are waiting to come up creatively. And certainly for us, as far as music and businesses that need the visual assistance, right? Everything is going online. You need an online presence for your company. You could be a basket maker. You need an online presence for it. It's just the way the industry's going. Well, Warren has this great facility. I've shot projects out of this facility. So it seemed like the stars kind of aligned there.
Okay. So how important would you guys say, because, you know, we talked previously, in fact, it was at Courtney's performance at Rovali's, Warren, that we talked about how your passion to promote businesses, events, and all the things you guys just mentioned here in Ogden. How important is it for those that are listening to have a local company doing their production and those kinds of things?
Well, you know, it's the industry is moving in such a way that I think we've positioned ourselves to help people get online presence, because that's huge. And to look good online is huge. And, you know, you're always in competition, so you need to look better than the next person and offer something that somebody else doesn't. And first appearances are everything, right? So that's what we do. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, you know, that's because I know that people, like, I get inundated with all kinds of companies that send me emails as far as video production and different things, and I have no idea where they're at, you know. And it's like, okay, how can these guys do it if they're remote somewhere? And just to think of the cost of having somebody come in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's mind numbing.
Production can be very expensive.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. Give me 1 second, because my dog does this every single podcast. He eats. You probably heard him crunching in the background, and then he's got to go out. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's part of the show. I can't change it. I tried. Anyway, so it seems like, you know, plus the mechanics and everything, because I know I'm minored in broadcasting in college, and I know the technical aspects of what you guys do on the back end is just, you know, a lot of people that don't understand it, it's magic, right? The stuff that you do is magic, but behind the magic, there's a lot of technical expertise that's required. So can you guys kind of give us a glimpse behind the curtain on, you know, the technical magic that
oh wow,
what seems to be easy for people that when they just watch a video, they're like, oh wow, you know, look at that overhead shot of, you know, a mountain biker going down the mountainside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, we would use a drone for that, but and that in itself is a whole thing. I mean, you got to know how to fly it. You got to be licensed. Are you talking video, or are you talking audio?
I'm just talking about, you know, if you peek behind the curtain, what are we going to see you guys doing behind the curtain that
I see.
you produce when you produce the shiny product? You know what I mean?
So I think I think it's about us recognizing a client or a vendor that could use one. So let's just go along 25th Street. Any one of the stores or restaurants that offer great services on historic 25th Street, we can usually look at what it is that they're doing in more of a cinematic style. It probably has a little bit more of a romantic vision to it, just because within the company, we've had images produced, you know, on 4 different continents in many different countries. So everybody's got their own little viewpoint of how things should go. It really provides a very world-class view of any offering, business offering, if you will. And then I think that's half of it. I think the other half is coming back and having the skills that we've learned in our careers to really tell a story in a quick fashion, where it's not going to just get onced over on some social media and you don't have to play a 5-minute whatever to whoever for them to understand. We really do them in short burst commercials with top tier graphics. So at the price point we're talking, you know, it's us coming in pretty quickly, setting up, Your business doesn't even shut down while we're there. There's usually a first draft to look at after 24 hours, and then usually by the end of that day, you have a final. So it's a really quick way to elevate your business to a world-class exhibit.
That's impressive. Within 24 hours, that's really impressive. I've been involved in all kinds of different shoots and different things like that, and it's it's always a hurry up and wait.
Mm-hmm.
So when you and before we get into the mechanics of the back end, Warren, I want to ask Jimmy a little bit more about this. So when you go in to a business, you're kind of surveying the flavor, the vibe. You're kind of, and then how much input are you getting from like the store owner, the manager, or whoever that is requiring your services?
Well, I think the vision starts with them, right? The store owner or vendor knows that they need to call us, or we've gone out in search of them to offer, many different talents, many different price points. I think once we get there, it really is about, if the owner, for instance, is really passionate about a particular picture on a wall, or a particular piano that's in the hall or whatnot, we can understand that. We're also really good at identifying things that maybe the owner might not. And it's, the dripping water coming off the pot looks really cool. And if we can just get a quick shot of that and throw it all in, a lot of it goes to making a scene. It just happens to be a scene about your place, this place where you put your dream, your small business. And we're really here to give it some oomph, make it cool, and put it up on Ogdenx.com.
And we definitely work with the owners. I mean, there's a lot of pre-production that happens before we even show up.
Okay, but so I want to play the devil's advocate for a minute, okay? Mm-hmm. Being a business owner, and sometimes, and I'm not saying this happens often, but sometimes when you've been in that business day in and day out, people say, well, I know this business, inside and out, right? But a lot of times, the reason why you're hiring a company like you guys is to bring a creative influence to something that I just see as routine, something that I see every single day, something that I may have this concept that you guys going, I don't know if that's gonna really sell. And so, how do you negotiate and navigate those kinds of things? Because I think I know what's best, right, for my business all the time. However, there's been many times where I've tried something and it's failed, Sure. Try something else. The good thing about me is I don't quit. but there's many times that I thought, oh, this is a really great idea, simply because I think it's a great idea, and therefore everybody should think it's a great idea, right? So how do you guys deal with that? Because sometimes, and I know you're not out to just take over or do anything like that, and that's not where I'm trying to lead, but I'm also trying to let the viewers understand that if some of them don't have a clue what they want to do, and so there has to be some kind of measure of a creative influence and different kinds of things that will kind of tandem their business, and not even their business. I mean, you guys have something even more complicated now, and that is the pandemic that's going on, that you guys have to look at this whole great big picture to assist somebody like me who may not have the creative levels that I can really help myself. Therefore, that's why I'm calling you in the first place.
Right. Yeah. So, we work hand in hand with the owners. There's, like I said, there's pre-production. And so we ask a lot of questions, and we get the vision of your business from you, right? And so now it's just our job to take that vision and put it on film, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, we follow, I mean, it's your business. It's not our business. We've got to make you happy. And yeah, I mean, everybody fails, right? That's just having a business. There's things that work out, and there's things that you think are going to be amazing, and they don't. I relate to you.
So what happens though if somebody calls you and says, I don't know, I don't know what to do. I don't have any ideas.
You know what? It really is easy.
Handle that.
With the questions that we ask, it pulls the answers out, and that's really what it is. It's really not as hard to get a direction as you would think it is. Like, you know, because you get in a groove, or maybe it's a rut. It's hard to say which one, but and you don't see the forest for the trees. Right. So when we start asking probing questions, and maybe you got to think about it a little bit, but then we go, oh, there it is right there. That's the direction we go.
It's storytelling.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Amen. And I'm glad you said that, because that's really cool, because everything is, you know, when you're a good storyteller, you can capture not only people's attention, but the imagination as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, and I kind of view it as hooks. You know, there are, you know, what when you grab onto something, because I think, like, I've posted stuff on Facebook many times where I'm like, this is going to get a lot of views, this is going to kill it, and I hear crickets, you know. And then I'll do this offhand little video down at Rovali's, and I get all kinds of views and stuff on it.
Yeah. You never know.
You just never know. So how do you help businesses? Okay, in this particular time, you know, because this is real time right now, right? And this particular time right now, I always tell people, because the first thing that people do when business slows down is they cut the marketing. You know, they cut the funding to the marketing,
right.
and that, to me, that's like the very last thing you should do. You should always work
out
on
in front of people.
So
yeah.
how, you know, give me some insight on how you guys will, you know, you come to people that are struggling right now, and the way that you can help them, that that doesn't, I don't want to say scare them away, but that doesn't give them like, I can't afford that, I can't afford that, I can't afford that.
Why don't you take that, Jim?
Well, I think first off, we're interested in working with anyone, and I think when we're able to sit down and talk about some of the challenges that you're having through this time that we're all in, I think there are some very applicable visual images that you can put up that will market not only your feeling about the time, but also market that your business is out. So that could even be in short blurb, 15 seconds. Hey, audience, you know, we make sure to do this here at my business, and we're clean and da-da-da, and we can't wait to see you between these brand new hours, right? So there's always marketing ways, in my opinion, to do that. In addition, Ogdenxmedia secured Ogdenx.com. Ogdenx.com is a huge solicitous platform, excuse me, a huge solicitous platform for the Ogden area. And so to be able to get a video made by us, or maybe even do an audio tag, and then have that placed up there with all of the audience that website gets, it's a kind of a win-win for any company.
No, that's brilliant. I'm already feeling comfortable. Okay,
well, we can't wait to test it on Rovali's for sure. You're going to be coming back to us. We all love the food there.
That's right. Excellent. Well, thank you. And so let's take a look. As we continue our virtual journey through your business. Give us some information on the technical background that you have, and also the kind of equipment that you use to produce world-class graphics and video.
Wow.
So I can start with me, only because the core of my training was in Los Angeles. So I graduated from Loyola Marymount University and went right to work for a company called iWorks. iWorks had been Walt Disney's partner back in the day, in the first animated cartoons and stuff. My sole focus then was specialty format cameras and experiences for theme parks. One of the key things about today is that the technology, even some of the most basic technology, is almost broadcast worthy. So we take some existing gear that we have and a few new things that we've had to get to offer, you know, the greatest services. And it's quick. The editing is pretty seamless. You get to come in and take a look at the video, make a few changes here, and you're walking out with exactly what you wanted, and we hope to exceed those expectations. So,
trying to think of what we've got. For the equipment though, we've got Sony cameras, we've got
Yes.
Blackmagics, we have Panasonics,
Yeah.
and I'm not familiar, Ursa, I know for the Black Magic, I'm not familiar with the model numbers of the other two.
And so for people who don't know camera talk, we can basically handle any Hollywood tier film here digitally, and then we have access to go to analog formats as well. I think for the majority of the people listening to this Zoom, is that we take Hollywood tier gear into your place quickly and inexpensively and provide you something, you know, within the 24-hour limit. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm gonna ask you kind of a, you have to excuse me, I got jets over too. I get those all the time too.
America.
But let me ask you this, because I know it's on the minds of small business owners that I've talked to about, you know, how they present themselves in a digital world. Okay. What is the longevity, and how, you know, how long does, because everything is just like boom, 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 you know, that was yesterday's news. What do you got for me today? You know, that kind of a thing. Based on your storytelling and the quality of your product, how do you deal with social media that is here today, gone tomorrow type of a thing for somebody that is investing in a 15-second spot, a 30-second spot, whatever the case may be? You know, how does that have a life that goes beyond today and tomorrow?
Well, really, you know, if we can make a product that you make your money back on that product and more money, that's the goal, right? You invest in this product and then you make the money back, your investment, and then you make more money. So is one commercial going to be good for life? Probably not. You know, it might be good for, let's say, 6 months on your website, right? Right when you pull it up, you've got a nice video that highlights your business. Maybe it's good for a month of ads on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media platform. You know, take a 15-second ad and put it up as an ad. So no, it's just like anything. It's always a constant push to keep going and making it bigger and better, for sure.
See, and I think that's an important point, because a lot of times people think that it's a one and done. Hey, I paid for this commercial, you know, and therefore I don't have to do it again for another year or whatever.
I mean, that's possible. It depends on how you use it, I guess.
Yeah.
It probably, if you did it like that, wouldn't be as effective as if you really pushed it and got people tired of it and had to make a new one. That would probably be more effective.
I'm the liaison for Historic 25th Street, between ODA, which is the Ogden downtown, Ogden Alliance downtown, and Ogden City. And one thing that I'm always trying to encourage the local businesses, you can't just turn on your open sign and expect people to come in, right? Because you'll starve to death.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so to have a company like your company that is local, that has the premier quality equipment and the, you know, the experience that you bring to the table at a reasonable price, is something that I think at this juncture, even though things are tight, that people really need to look at, and they really need to consider, especially when everything is bad news. You know, that right. You look anywhere nowadays, if you pop your phone open, all you see is bad news. You know, how do you change the public's impression of yourself? You know, and that's through if this thing dings, I'm looking at it, right? Mm-hmm. Every single time. And so we have people have the unprecedented, business have the unprecedented access to people nowadays. Whereas, you know, basically back in the day, you'd have to put it on either cable TV, a commercial, or something else, right?
Very expensive.
Nobody's up, you know, and now you have this premium platform. So can you give us a little bit more creativity, what you guys use as far as distributing to the social platforms, and once you create this this project, how do you disseminate it?
Well, that would probably be on the business owner. We will make the product and do it. We could do it, and we could talk about it, and because we do have a marketing girl that's amazing, and she'd be able to, do that. So that would be something aside from the project that we did. But yeah, that would pretty much be on the owner. They would put it on their website. I mean, whatever. If we did a 30-second, I'd probably put that on the website, or a minute, and then they can go and just use it however they see fit.
Yes, and I think also because things will have been shot in a particular way, we'll definitely have heavy recommendations as to the social media outlets to go to. I think another service that certainly aids us with having a real life and family and kids, I don't really have a lot of time to go on social media. So we're lucky to have a great young crew who spend a lot of time on social media to then go up. I think Ogdenx.com is going to be a very serious platform here locally. So I think highlights and information about your business, specifically on Ogdenx.com, is a great way for us at Ogdenxmedia to help you get to that next level, even after your product is finished.
Right.
And I think that's crucial too, because a lot of people, and I know I'm throwing you guys some curveballs. And I'm not doing it to throw curveballs. I'm actually asking you from a business owner's perspective and the thoughts that I have of, is this worth it to me? Am I going to get, like you said, the return on investment on this? And how does it all work? Because I know, just like I said earlier, if people think, some people that are especially new in business, they think I put in all this work to build up my shop, and I turn on the open sign, and then I sit there, and then they're just kind of brokenhearted that people aren't rushing through their doors. I mean, I remember when I graduated from college, I thought the offers are going to come rolling in, baby. Well, they didn't. I was looking for 6 and it's kind of disheartening, especially when you put your blood, sweat, and tears into a new business that you think is going to be great and that people need and people want. Mm-hmm. Well, there's other pieces, and yours is one of the most crucial pieces, in my opinion, for especially new startup businesses, even existing businesses. Like you said, Warren, that you get in a rut or in a groove that you don't think outside of that, because sometimes, especially for a small business like me, and again, I'm talking to you guys as a small business, okay? That's my hat that I'm wearing right now. For a small business like me, I'm worried about making sure that this piece of equipment's fixed and the lights are working and and everything's doing this. And so to add one more thing to my plate is overwhelming. Mm-hmm. But when you can get beyond that, and you think what Ogdenx can bring to the table, that can alleviate a lot of this stuff, because ultimately, as far as restaurants go, we want butts in seats, right? That's what
Absolutely.
We want. And and if it's a retail shop on 25th Street or anywhere in Ogden or whatever, you need people taking clothes off the rack, those kinds of things. That's what you need. So, to be able to convey that to a small business owner like myself, to help me to understand, especially when I'm inundated with the tasks of the day. Am I getting my shipments in? These kinds of things. Not only do I not have time for social media, not only can I can't think about a project like what you guys are doing or what you're offering. Right. But what you just said, Jimmy, at the very beginning was, we come in, and Warren, you said we could ask questions. And so that alleviates a lot of stuff, of preconceptions that a small business owner would have, that I can't afford it. It's going to be too hard. It's going to be too complicated. Jimmy said, we don't come in and shut your business down, all those things. So, I think what you guys are telling me is it's not as complicated as you would think, because of the expertise that you bring. Can you can you elaborate on that a little
It's
bit?
definitely not as complicated as you would think for the business owner or the business, right? Yeah. So over on our side, it's very complicated, right? But yeah, we try and make it as quick and easy and painless for the client as possible. Yeah.
And I think the story, excuse me, the story that you want to tell is a story about, you know, the history and why you got into this whole dream, and then implementing your dream and what services you can provide. I think the whole Shakespearean, you know, story curve matters to a business. We cut it into pretty fine, minute formats, whether that's a 10-second splash video, a 15-second feel good, or a 30, even if it's something longer. I do think that any
It could be a specific call to action.
absolutely.
It could be just that.
So I think we provide that service for anyone that is looking, depending on the need for their business.
Okay. And if somebody, let's say they hired your company to come in and do a spot to help them increase their business, and you know, do you encourage them? I mean, especially if they're wildly successful with the spot that helps bring in business that's measurable to them, at least they can say, oh yeah, we've increased sales since that spot came out, 15%, 20%, whatever the case may be. Or if they came in and said, well, yeah, it went up about 5%, is it, how do you guys as the producers, how do you measure success?
Well, on our end, I think it would be delivering a good product, right? Something that is very appealing and works. Success, I don't know. I would say if the client's happy, then it was a success. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the phone call for them to get another one is the success.
For sure.
And yeah, and I would agree with that. And like I said, again, I'm interviewing you guys from a business owner's perspective, not as the podcaster,
Sure.
because those are the questions that I know a lot of them have, because I've talked to many of them over the years. I've been on 25th Street almost 11 years now, and we've been in the business about 15 years, and the reason why I wanted to have you guys on, when Warren, especially when you told me what you guys were doing for Ogdenx, is because I think this is like a crucial time right now that people can use your services. People that can reach out, and you can bring this creative thing and fresh ideas to help somebody that that may be floundering, that may be kind of scared at this point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that's why this interview at this time is really important.
Yes, me too. I think the opportunity is certainly presenting itself, specifically here in northern Utah, for sure.
So I don't think I have any other questions other than what is the best way to find out where you're at, and how do people get a hold of you, and how do people inquire about getting prices and getting ideas, and how does kind of give us how that all works? Ogdenxmedia.com.
That's our website. And we're new, we're just getting started, but that's the website, and everything is on there. The mission statement, how to get a hold of us, it's all right there. Yeah.
And just because you're new and just getting started, that doesn't negate the experience that both of you bring to the table.
Oh yeah, no, but well, personally, we're not new. The company's new.
We're happy to have a new collaboration presenting this service to Ogden, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, is there any parting words you guys want to share with us before we end the video or the podcast?
It's a beautiful morning, and it was great to talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having us on, and we look forward to seeing everybody's businesses visually.
And I hope so too. And I would like to also ask if you guys have a poster, or if you guys have business cards, we'd love to have them put them up at Rovali's, because we want to support you guys as much as you're supporting the Ogden community and bringing your creative talents to to our city.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so don't forget about it. All right.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Thank you very much. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and sign off, and I'm going to finish with the audience, and we'll do this again. I'd like to do it again sometime, especially after you do a project. I think that would really be cool.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
See ya.
All right, you guys hang with me, and I'm going to tell you, wow, what a great interview. I mean, that was really a fantastic interview, a lot of insight. And these guys, and I've worked with them personally, and they support, local businesses too. So they're true blue. They believe in Ogden, and they want to bring their talents to help small businesses. So if you guys are considering this, I'll put their website on the description and a link below. But it is Ogdenxmedia.com. And you can find these guys, and they're going to give you a free quote. You don't need to worry about, do I have to shell out money to even talk to these guys or whatever. They're going to give you a quote, and they're going to bring some ideas that will help you. And if you guys are nervous about through this time, now's the time to, and I hate to use the term, but I'm going to use it anyway, think out of the box, and look beyond the daily routines that you're in, because sometimes it's hard, as Warren said, not to see the forest for the trees. All right. And so I want to thank those two gentlemen, Warren and Jimmy, for taking the time to be with us. And I want to invite you guys to join us for lunch or dinner today at Rovali's. Okay. Because, this podcast, even though we bring in local businesses and stuff, it is kind of still sponsored by Rovali. So I want to do a push for our restaurant, and I want to thank you. We did have a great night last night at Rovali's, and I want to invite you to lunch or dinner today. And you can, we're still doing curbside. You can get your food online at rovalis.com, ROVALIS.com, or you can call us at 801-394-1070, and we'll get you guys taken care of. Anyway, another great interview. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the flip side. Ciao for now. Whoop. And a double whoop.